All right, we are back here. Baseball beat on the podcast. Opening day coming up. Very excited to get the season started this week. First up with me, the Unofficial Co-host of this podcast. It's been a minute since we've seen Will Schneiderhan here. Will, how are you?
I am good. Actually, I think the last time we did this podcast was this baseball beat. I think the Rangers played the Flyers in Philly as they're doing right now. I think that happened. I was watching in my basement. I think the Rangers lost that night. Rangers are going to win tonight.
Yeah, we are recording on Thursday literally 1 week before the season starts. And the Rangers have scored another 7 goals against the Flyers. I think that's 16 in their last 2 games against them.
Hey, the Jets might not be able to score 16 points against a Philly team, but the Rangers can do it.
Yeah, maybe we could send some points over to the Jets this year. Also with me today, as always, the Yankee half of the baseball beat, Anthony Sorbellini. Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to be here. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. And as I was saying, top of the podcast, we got baseball, so we got the full 160 here. None of this 60-game cockamamie sprint to the finish garbage. It's nice.
Thank God.
I'm excited for at least, it's not gonna be completely normal, but normal enough. And I am last week, man, I've been looking as it's been getting later out, staying later out later. I'm like, all right, 7:00. I'm bored, man, but it's close to that time where every night at 7 p.m. it's appointment television.
Yeah. I mean, I get by because usually I have the NCAA tournament, and me and Troy Moriello, our buddy from Iona, have been covering on the podcast here. That's nice, but it's sort of the warm up here. That once the baseball's back, and this could be an interesting year because we're gonna start off. We're gonna have some fans in the stands, not all the way there, unless you're in Texas for opening day, which is a whole stupid thing in its own. But we'll get to them. But I mean, it's getting weird. You're going to see this will sort of get more normal as the season goes on because as more people get vaccinated, the crowd sizes should start increasing. Eventually, you won't have to wear the mask at the ballpark. I mean, it's interesting to see us get to more normal as the baseball season goes.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where I think why I'm so excited about baseball too is because it kind of signals that we're making progress towards that ultimate goal. And I mean, listen, it's going to be a long time before it's completely normal, but there's even the idea that in August we might have 50% if more at Citi Field, and it's just stuff that it's exciting, but you got to be cautious at the same time. So, but it's something to be optimistic about, and I'm really happy that a week from today I'm either going to be really amped up about a Mets win or just completely over dramatic, saying we should, the bullpen needs to be completely overhauled or something like that.
It's opening day. Well, they always win opening day.
They do. You're right. Hey, as a Mets fan, we know we're always going to win opening day.
We do. And Anthony, I think the thing that's interesting here is last year we had so many problems with COVID where you had to sit the Marlins out for a week. You had to sit the Cardinals out for about 2.5 weeks at this. Mm-hmm. I feel like now with the NFL, we learned with the contact tracing and everybody's probably wearing those Connect Sound devices. I feel like we're going to see a lot less games postponed for COVID. I still think early on you're going to see some teams have contract tracing issues where okay, Jimmy here tested positive and these 2 guys can't play, but the rest you're going to play on. I feel like that's what MLB's going to have to do is sort of keep this thing moving.
Yeah, the MLB kind of is at a luxury in the sense where they got to see what the NBA has been doing and the NFL what they've been doing, so they can kind of hopefully put better practices or protocols in place. So hopefully teams aren't going a week and a half, 2 weeks without playing.
Yeah, I think the easiest way is going to be just those contract tracing devices because it shouldn't be as big a problem, Will, you would think in baseball, because it's not like football where you have all the linemen in one room together, or one group together playing together. And that's an issue. Whereas, apart from the dugout, you can space that out a little bit. I think you'll be in good shape.
Yeah. It always seemed a little weird that the NFL kind of changed that. You had Denver where, okay, one quarterback got it. They're all in the same room and then you're throwing some poor practice squad high school quarterback out there. So yeah, while I am cautiously optimistic about it, I'm sure there will be cancellations. Yeah, like Sorb said, I don't think we're going to see that Marlins situation, right, where it was they didn't play for what seemed like the half the season.
Yeah, the Cardinals are far worse in that regard, though.
Yes, yeah. I actually forgot about the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have a couple of the COVID rules stayed. Now, of course, the ones no one wanted. We got the extra inning rule again. We got 7 inning doubleheaders again. We could not keep the universal DH, but thank goodness we don't have to try and pick 8 playoff teams this year.
Yeah,
that's
want the DH. You gave it to me. You took it away.
just keep it.
You're right. It is. It's seriously, they needed to. I mean, if there's National League fans out there who are like really like seriously, there's no why. DeGrom take his first step at opening day. I'm going to be like, oh, I really wish that was Dom Smith playing DH.
Let's put it this way: unless you are Evan Roberts right now, you are not a big DH stan. Not a big pitcher hitting stan. Excuse me.
I just. I haven't pitchers not even hit all spring training too. Like isn't it like the last week they started putting guys out there? Like, I don't know. It's the thing. And I'm sure in a year we won't even have to worry about that. But yeah, that does stink, especially as a Mets fan. We got 1,000 like first basemen playing in various positions.
Yeah, but we only have one more year of this problem. But right now, let's start with the Yankees, Anthony, because I think they're in an interesting spot into the season. I mean, obviously, they're the favorites in the American League East because Tampa decided to sort of take a step back themselves. In Toronto, we don't know if they're going to be ready yet. But I think there's still questions of this team, especially in light of the bullpen injuries they've had recently.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be definitely, I mean, if anything, I'm excited for the season, obviously, but I'm not as optimistic with this team as I was maybe with last year's team or the other team before that year. A lot of question marks. I know we talked about it last time with them letting Tanaka go and then, not getting someone to replace him. So just a lot of questionable decisions. The bullpen's kind of not struggling, but it's not as strong as it was, especially last year, trading Ottavino. So should be interesting. The biggest thing, is let's hope everybody can stay healthy.
Yeah, well, it's a great point there because even with the Yankees' questionable pitching staff, I mean, you're getting 130 for under 40 games out of Giancarlo, out of Aaron Judge, out of Aaron Hicks. That one probably not as realistic as the other two, but those guys staying healthy, they'll be out slug a lot of teams and win a lot of games that way.
I mean, even if one of those two stays healthy, right, is a big deal. If both of them stay healthy and they can hit even just just kind of refine his approach and go back to what it kind of was in Miami a little bit more. Like, yeah, they can definitely get away with that. Okay, we don't have Zach Britton, we might not have like that loaded pen that usually the Yankees got away with their not like lack of bullpen or lack of starting depth, but like their starting rotation has been a little iffy the past few years, so even more now. But they always got away with that really strong bullpen, and in the early beginning of the season, that's definitely not going to be a luxury. So, yeah, I mean, you're just going to have some starters step up. Guys that got to go an extra, 36 outs, and I think, like we mentioned last time, you're gonna have Garrett Cole as your horse. So maybe a guy like Jameson Tyone steps up, who's had a pretty good spring training from what I think he has. I could be wrong, but yeah, I just think you gotta lean on that rotation, man. And I know that's a lot. I know that's hard, but that bullpen's gonna be really tough to kind of figure that out early on.
Yeah, and Anthony,
especially. No, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, you go ahead, Ant.
No, I was just echoing off with just relaying off the starting pitching, especially is going to be difficult because Boone's managerial style is go to that bullpen as quickly as possible. And he's not going to be able to have that luxury this season.
Analytics approach. Yeah. Max out, and you you can't, if a guy looks like he can get you 3 more, you got to go with that. Just beginning of the season, at least, to get some reinforcements back and see if some guys step up in that bullpen. Yeah.
That's the thing I would worry about too if I'm a Yankee fan. Just like this pitching staff, just the way it's built. I talked about it last time we were on here. I'm just staring at that staff. I say, is this not a slightly higher upside version of the 2020 Mets, where Kluber and Tyone are basically your Porcello and your Michael Wacha, Montgomery, Steven Matz, and then you're hoping to get Severino back, and he was going to be Marcus Stroman last year, but Stroman never came back because he opted out because of COVID. And then we had all these other issues going on here with, the starters didn't get deep, the bullpen got burned out, and then they were in trouble. Like, I think I get that the Yankees have slightly highly caliber options than the Mets had, but that's still a very dangerous structure they're playing with.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they relied so heavily on their bullpen the last couple of years to where it's, in a sense, it's a completely different team because, With Tanaka, you pretty much knew that you were getting at least 6 from him. Pretty much 6. Sometimes you could push to 7. But especially now, there's just so many question marks, especially, from Kluber. What's Montgomery going to be like? And if and when Severino gets back. And not only that, but is Severino going to be the same that he was, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, he's made a grand total of about 4 starts in 2 years, which is also problematic. And Will, one thing I think is Yankee fans have second guessed this, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you agree with me on this. The choice to bring Brett Gardner back at his salary figure when they were trying to stay under the luxury tax, like, given what's been going on with them and the state of this team, I feel like that money probably would have been better allocated for another reliever.
Yeah, my grandfather loved Brett Gardner. I really respect that guy, but to just have him come back to be listen, the guy's gonna get you some hits, but I personally just don't get it. Let Clint Frazier play. He can play. I just don't understand that. I know you need a 4th outfield, but like you said, Phillips, listen, I don't know. It's not my money. Do it. They must love the guy. I get it. But yeah, I mean, various other places I probably would have put those dollars just that makes more sense. I mean, don't they not even have a backup shortstop right now? Wasn't it like Gio Urshela was getting shortstop reps the other day, or he's their emergency shortstop, and that's kind of tough when you're starting third baseman's your emergency shortstop. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know there's rumors they might cut Tyler Wade and then just carry both Bruce and Talkman, which is an interesting roster construction choice to say the least. But I think, Anthony, if you're a Yankee fan, I don't know if you feel this way, the money they gave Brett Gardner, would you rather give it to this guy like Shane Green to give yourself another bullpen option?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Gardy, he really hasn't contributed all too much in the past couple of years. He's kind of just riding it out. I mean, he's been reliable, but he's always been so streaky. He's either going to be really hot or just not going to be able to touch anything. And that's been his biggest problem probably throughout his entire career. It's just, he's going to go out there and give you solid at bats pretty much day in and day out, but it's either he's going to be able to just hit the cover off the ball or it won't even come within 3 feet of it.
Yeah, it's certainly true. Let's shift gears to the Mets now, Will. I think they're the most exciting storyline here, but since we thought they do have a injury situation developing, Carlos Carrasco hurt his hamstring, grade 1, the worst one, probably gonna be out till June. And right now, the Mets back rotation is David Peterson and Joey Lucchesi. How much does this concern you?
I'll be completely honest. It's not ideal. Obviously, when you look at it, when you slot Cookie in there, your 4th is what? Off the top, you got DeGrom, Stroman, Carrasco. I mean, Walker, sorry, that's what I'm forgetting. Taiwan, yeah. It's not ideal, but I'll be completely honest. I feel substantially better about this happening this year because if you have to burn 2 starts with Lucchesi, okay, whatever. You got to, Peterson pitched well at times last year. You have Jordan Yamamoto.
Yep.
He's another guy who looks good. I mean, these are guys like him and Lucchesi are guys that 4 or 5 and fly, get them 1, 2, 3. So I feel a little good about it. I'll be completely honest with the way things stand. Yeah, I would have much rather had Cookie taking that, that 3rd or 2nd start and so on. But I'll kind of wait and see with this. Usually if this was last year, yeah, I'd probably be panicking because it's a steep drop off. We'd have Corey Oswalt taking 2 or 3 starts, but I do feel a little bit better about things.
Yeah, Anthony, what do you think about, obviously the Mets, the big thing right now, if the Mets make this different, is obviously Francisco Lindor being here, because this is just a dramatic franchise-changing superstar they've not had in a long time. So, and we've seen lately he's been crushing the ball in spring training. He's bringing such energy. What do you think he's going to mean to this team this year?
I mean, he's going to, I think, right next to Pete Alonso, probably even better than Pete Alonso, he'll be the MVP for that team, other than, DeGrom for the rotation and all, but he's instantly he's just a playmaker. He's going to go out there, they don't call him Smiles for no reason, he's going to go out there constantly and just do what he does. And, he was a borderline MVP, while he was with the Indians, and he's, one of the best shortstop in the game right now. So it's without a doubt that he's going to, boost that system up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got it right here. He's on the baseball cover for Sports Illustrated. I mean, when's the last time we see a Met get that?
I got to get my hands on that. I don't have Sports Illustrated anymore. The last when's the last time? Wasn't it Johan, right? It must have been Johan that year.
I think it might be Matt Harvey.
Oh, I forgot about Matt Harvey. No, but yeah, you're right. That was so yeah, Rangers scored again. Wow. 8-3. Yeah, man. Lindor. Oh baby. I mean, I haven't been this excited about it, seeing him at play every day since Carlos Beltran. Like, I am ecstatic. I keep saying in our group chat, man, like Lindor's with Met. Like, what the hell?
I remember when that trade dropped, I was driving and then I had to turn on friend of the podcast, Mark Malusis and Maggie Gray on WFAN. And they're talking about this trade. I mean, I'm just sitting there knowing that as a Met fan's going, what the hell's going on out here? I'm not used to them actually getting on the good end of these trades. I'm used to them like basically diving to the box of scraps.
I was driving too. I was actually at like this job I've been doing while I've been looking for other opportunities. And yeah, it was in that group chat with Martino and I, and I'm like, there is no way. Because it was like, oh, they're looking to get Lindor. Oh, they traded for Lindor. And I'm like, no, my God. I'm excited. I am. I think what he's going to do for that whole team is just, it's immeasurable. I think what he's going to do for a guy like Alonso, for Dom Smith, Conforto, every single Met in that lineup, like it is going to be a night and day difference. Like I expect the Beltran level impact. And what Beltran's 05 season with the Mets wasn't that great because I think he was hurt, but his 06 season literally could have won MVP. Like that's the stuff that I expect from a guy that this caliber.
Yeah, Anthony. The thing also I noticed with the Mets also is like Brody Van Wagenen in the past paid lip service to depth because like, oh, we're gonna sign minor league guys to be depth guys. Mm-hmm. Still bring up the same garbage and guys got hurt. But now you look at the back of their bench, you look at some of the guys having their minor system. It's like these guys have backs of baseball cards. They have actually played in the major leagues and actually contributed on winning teams. I think that's a nice change as well.
Yeah, it's just it always echoes back to that somewhat just the veteran status. Yeah, there's always a time and place to bring up the young guys, but I feel like from an outsider looking into the Mets organization, it's just kind of like I feel like the organization, along with the fans, are just waiting for something. So they kind of want to just be like, all right, we'll flip the drawing board completely over, and we'll do things completely different, and then just bring in guys who, like you said, have the backs of the baseball cards, and we'll go out and produce.
Yeah, and it's nice to not have Kevin Kazmarski coming up to play the outfield to start when guys get hurt.
Yeah, I was looking at today, like I think they said Malik Smith has like an opt-out. We saw Tommy Hunter opt-out. I'm like, gosh, usually these are guys that are like kind of like the headlining moves of the offseason, right? Like now we're cutting them, like they might not make the team. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I it's kind of nerdy, but like I am very excited for like Kevin Pillar and Albert Almora. Like just having that alone, like is something that is, it's just very nice to, no more Aaron Altairs coming up and like hitting random home runs and so on. Like these are dudes that could play and are going to be productive members of this team. And it is that depth, that, what is it? They call it the quadruple A, kind of like that is the stuff that I'm very excited. As much as I'm super excited about Lindor, I'm probably almost more excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony even stuck Jonathan VR on that flew under the radar right spring training started. Now they have like a speed guy on the bench.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just completely just like it's an overhaul.
Yeah, a well-needed overhaul. Before we go to our predictions here, anybody have a big picture thing you're watching this year? Will, anything catching your eye, big picture wise?
I'm gonna, an easy one would be like I want to watch Tatis just continue to develop and go. But I big picture wise, I'm really gonna be locked in and seeing what keeping an eye on what the Blue Jays do. I like what they got going on up there.
Anthony, anything you're keeping your eye on, like big picture wise?
I want to pay attention to those Padres. Yeah. They got me interested. So they're the big name coming up. So I want to see what they're going to be keep doing.
I think for me, the one outside New York I'm watching is the Angels, because this is a team I feel like they got some good pitching depth in there. They brought in Jose Quintana. They made some Southeast trades. They have Shohei Ohtani back healthy. That's going to be huge if he can pitch and hit. I think this is a year. The AL West is a little open because the Astros lost some guys. The A's lost some guys. I think the Angels could make a sneaky move here.
Ohtani looks fantastic too.
Yeah.
I hope that guy can stay healthy because he could have like an amazing, unbelievable year. Something we've never seen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let's get to the predictions here. We'll go around the horn. We're going to do what we do every year. We're going to do the division winners, wild cards, Cy Youngs, MVPs, all that good stuff. Let's start with the American League East. Anthony, who is your AL East winner?
AL East, you know what? The Rays took a little bit of a step back, so I'm going to have to go with the Yankees.
Yeah, Will, do you agree with that?
I'm gonna be really bold. I'm gonna say those swinging Jays get it done. I really am. I think Tampa has regressed. Like, I know we always give Tampa the benefit of the doubt, but when you lose Blake Snell and Charlie Morton, like I don't know if they can do that again this year. The Yankees are gonna really have to fight through a lot of early season adversity. So, like, in my mind, you see Toronto get off to a hot start, and they can really compete. They have a very good team. I think it's going to be a really, really close division. And I just don't know right now if the Yankees, like, listen, Toronto probably doesn't have the starting pitching, that's for sure. But there's something about the Yankees that is early on. I think it might be a tough slog for them, where a team like Toronto could jump them early.
Yeah, I'm going to break the tie. I will side with Anthony here and take the Yankees to win the division, something I don't usually do. I last year took Tampa Bay. I was right about that. But for me, Tampa took such a huge step back where right now they're relying on rehabbing Chris Archer and getting Michael Wacha to be a big time contributor and stuff like that. And it's going to be, I think next year is their big year because they're going to have some pitching prospects coming up. Are going to be good. They got Patino from the Padres, going to be a huge threat. I think the Yankees are going to outslug Toronto and win that division by about 4 or 5 games. I think the Yankees will win the American League East. Next up here, let's go to the American League Central. Will, lead us off there. Who is winning the Central?
Oh, well, I mean, this pick kind of took a turn within the last but I'm gonna say Chicago. I'm gonna go Chicago. I like it, even though Eloy got hurt. I mean, the rest of that division is just like, I usually would have sided with Minnesota, but I just don't know how long Minnesota can continue to like really compete, take that division, just do nothing with it. Like, mentally, that's just got to be straining. And Chicago's, man, those kids can hit. They can hit, and maybe get a guy like Kopech back. Like, there's so many more guys in this pipeline coming up, and they have room to make more trades. I think Chicago White Sox could really make a run at that AL Central because there's a lot of bottom feeding you can do in that division.
Yeah, Anthony, AL Central pick. You going with the White Sox as well?
I'm in the same boat. Just a lot of promise, a lot of, just young talent. Tim Anderson's up there, so they're definitely an intriguing thing. Gotta love my man Jose Abreu.
Yeah, reigning American League MVP, Jose Abreu.
Gotta love it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it 3 for 3. I'll also go with the White Sox. Now the Eloy Jimenez thing takes a big blow on them because that sucks because he's such a good player. But there's so many other guys. They have Luis Robert. They got Abreu, as we've mentioned. Yasmani Grandal. They have a good pitching staff with Keuchel and Lucas Giolito on top of it. They brought Liam Henderson to close, and I don't think the Twins did enough to keep up with them. So I'm going to take the White Sox. Yeah. We'll probably be the kiss of death to the White Sox fans hearing all three of us pick them. They're probably not finishing 4th place or something, but we will
sign Yoenis Cespedes.
Hey, he could DH there.
Yeah, they could be their Eloy replacement. Our old pal Yoenis.
Yeah. That's so 3 for 3 on the White Sox. Now let's go to the AL West, which I think is the division of mystery in the American League because there's honestly, you could go off 3 different ways for the division pick here. And think about the pressure on you first. Who is your AL West winner?
I'm going to think that the Angels just sneak it in. They get it probably 3, maybe 2 games. It's going to be close. But, they have Mike Trout, Ohtani, just those 2 guys are just absolute, it's going to be close. There's so many things, but, I think baseball is good when Mike Trout's in the playoffs.
Will, how about you?
Yeah, I'm right there. And, Phillips convinced me earlier with it. But, yeah, when you look at it, like, Houston's got question marks. Oakland's got question marks. Angels, they definitely have their own question marks. But you kind of feel a lot safer betting on the team that has the best player of this generation on it, that have done some pretty good things and shared up some areas. And I think it's going to be a sloppy division. Like 86 wins might even get you it. But I think it might be the Angels that get in there.
Yeah, I'm going to make it 3 for 3 on the Angels as well because people will also forget Anthony Rendon's out there and he's got a huge presence in that lineup behind Mike Trout. And I think the Astros can be third. I'm going to make that call. I think Oakland will be second. I think Oakland will just find a way. They'll probably make a push in the second half once they get some guys figured out. But I think Angels will clip them by about a game or two, win about like 87, 88 games. That's where I think they are.
Yeah, Houston pitching is, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Losing Framber Valdez, the broken finger, didn't help either.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the wild cards. And Will, give me your 2 American League wild cards, not 5 like last year, just 2.
A lot easier to keep track of. So obviously, I said Toronto is going to win the division. So I'm obviously going to give the Yankees that one of the wild card spots. And then I think the Twins will get that other one. So good news for Sorbs. If the Yankees have to play the Twins.
Well, I best say. So just give us the Twins in the playoff. We're good.
Yeah, so Will subscribes to the Washington general theory here that friend of the podcast, Rick Cerrone's put out that the Yankees will just dunk on the Twins and get into the American League wild card round.
Always. That's how they. It's fascinating.
Yeah, Anthony, you have obviously the Yankees, White Sox, Angels, division winners. Who are your 2 wild cards?
I'm going to stay in the AL East for one minute, and I'm going to go with the Blue Jays, and then I am going to go again with the Twins.
You and I matched as well. I have the Blue Jays and the Twins. I do not have the Astros making the playoffs.
No, the Astros just lost too much, from the pitching, and then also, you lose a big bat in Springer.
Yeah, and George Springer's a huge playoff performer for them as well. I think big league. Honestly, like this could be a spot where I think if the Astros don't get off to a good start, like, would you be shocked if they sold Carlos Correa at the deadline?
He already came out and kind of like, it seems like he commented about how like they give him a low ball offer or something. I don't see him playing in Houston. Yeah, past that. Absolutely. You don't send him. Get what you can.
Yeah, because I mean they got McCullers signed long term, which they needed to do because they were going to have like no pitching after this year when Greinke leaves. So
and Bregman's under a long term deal, right?
Yeah, Bregman. We don't know if Jose Altuve is going to get back into form because he had a very bad year and the metrics underlying were not good on him. So I think it's a very tough spot to be in if you're an Astro fan.
Yep.
Although you have no pity from us considering you guys stole a championship.
Forbes, man, stole it from the Yanks.
They did. Let's go to the National League side now. We'll start with the National League East. Anthony, who wins the most competitive division in baseball?
I'm gonna go with the Mets.
Ooh.
I was teeter-tottering between the Mets and the Braves, but I think the Mets, just adding Lindor, I think he's gonna make that little difference just to push him over.
Will, are you taking the hometown boys? Are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, it is. It is really like what Sorbellini said. It's between those two, albeit the Phillies and the Nationals are going to be really competitive.
It's tough for me to go against my Metsies, but I do think the Braves. I just think they're a better team pitching wise right now. But I think that division, my God, it's a flip of a coin. Like I mean, I could tell you the Nationals could win it. Like that division is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Mets here to win the division. I just feel like there's also I feel like they're gonna be make an in-season move, and also they put them over the top. I feel like they're gonna be neck and neck. They don't play the Braves until I think late May is when their first series against the Braves is, and they're gonna make a big move with a deadline, where it's a center fielder or who knows, maybe a third baseman if JD Davis is not playing up to snuff. I think they're gonna make that one move that puts them over the top.
There's a guy in Chicago who plays third. So Steve Cohen.
They've been looking at that guy before.
Oh, a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we know about that guy. Maybe a bullpen arm too would also be a good idea.
There's a guy in Milwaukee, left-handed, long hair.
I don't think they should pay that much for that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Since you brought up the Milwaukee connection here in the National League Central, Will, who is winning that division for you?
The Cardinals.
Yep.
I'm sorry. No disrespect. That division is one of the fun teams though to watch that division is Cincinnati. I like what they did.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're gonna just slug and find their way to just be in the middle of the race at least at one point. I don't like what Milwaukee did. The Cubs, Pirates. My God, if you're a Pirates fan, sorry. I think the Reds there's something about them. I feel like I pick them every other year, so this will be the year that they would do something well. But yeah, St. Louis is still the best in that division.
Anthony, your central pick is?
The Cardinals, without a doubt. Just adding Arenado just sets them over. It's like, forget about it. It's not even. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will complete the trilogy here. Go with the Cardinals. Say it's his famous proverb: in the village of the blind, the man with one eye is the leader.
Yeah.
The Cardinals got one eye. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah. They
They're
got
that sorry division.
Yeah. What division I say before you can win with 80-60? NL West. I mean, you might be able to win the NL Central
with 84. It's just such a bad division. I mean, like, it's just, and this is the same division Trevor Bauer feasted on to win that Cy Young last year and get $40 million in the Dodgers. So it's nothing there.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. I mean, it's just the definition of like middling teams. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Milwaukee's be the second team in that division, but I don't think they're going to be that good.
No.
All right. NL West. Anthony, I'll go to you first. Dodgers or Padres?
The Giants.
I really want to say Padres. I really do, but I can't. I really can't. It's the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers, reigning World Series champions, and then you didn't have that World Series regression. You go out and you grab Trevor Bauer. You just get even more stacked. It's an all-star team out there.
Yeah. Will.
Like everything Sorbs just said. I really, really, really wanted to tell you the Padres, but I just can't. I'm lying to myself. The Dodgers are freaking loaded.
All right, so I'm gonna make it 3 for 3, but I'll ask this question to you guys. Their over/under number is 103.5 wins. Do they go over that?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they finish with 107.
I think right around they're gonna have the same win totals as that 2018 Red Sox team.
Yeah, look at that division too. D-backs, Giants, Rockies. I mean, that alone, my goodness.
Are they actually in that division though, the Rockies? Are we sure they're playing the same sports as everybody else?
We can them and the Pirates and the Orioles could play in the AAA this year. No, the Orioles might be better. But yeah.
Ooh, don't sleep on the Orioles this year.
I mean, I'm going like the Rockies though. Before we go to the awards, what the hell are they doing out there? It's
paying.
I don't think they know.
They're paying the other team to employ the best third baseman in baseball. Like, that.
Did either you see the article in the Athletic Kenneth Rosenthal wrote about the Rockies?
And they're saying how the GM is like no idea, or is it the president? The president, right? He's like, if they're like he doesn't have a clue. Paid Ian. What was the dollar total? It was like over $300 million of free agents, and they had a negative WAR.
Yeah. It was really, really bad. And I remember the one thing that stuck out at me was like they paid. It's basically like everybody knows they paid $51 million to the Cardinals to take the Nolan Arenado contract off their hands. And the thing that stuck out in the article is that they were more worried about having to pay him $186 million and giving the Cardinals 51 and not have him. That's a problem.
They're worried he would opt in.
Yeah. That tells you everything that is wrong with baseball right now is that you cannot build a team around that player and you're worried about paying him money. That is why this sport is heading towards a work stoppage.
Hey, man, if I'm Trevor Story, though, I'm like, hey, get on the phone with my agent. Yeah, we got to get out of here as soon as possible. Because they're not paying him after this offseason.
No, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to get lowball because everybody knows they're not going to keep him. And then they're going to end up giving the qualifying offer, and then he'll get like a draft pick, and he goes bye-bye.
Yeah, get their draft. Yeah.
It's just such a disaster out there. I mean, those poor fans.
Yeah, just them in Pittsburgh. Like, seriously, what do you do? Like,
Pittsburgh. Ugh.
Yeah, Anthony, I think the thing also bothers the Pirates is like they were really good in the mid-aughts, in the mid 2010s. I mean, they were right there. This team won like 98, 99 games, and then their ownership is just so cheap they didn't get that one piece they needed to put them over the top.
No, I couldn't fathom being a Pirates fan, knowing I was that close, and then just nothing.
Well,
absolutely nothing. It just disappears. Don't make that one, maybe two possible moves. Just to get you on there, and then just everything's gone.
Yeah, every time they were 198 games, they played in the wild card game and lost. That sucks.
You can't make that up.
And think about it, at one point, they had the same pitching staff, Garrett Cole, Charlie Morton, Tyler Glasnow, and Jameson Taillon, and none of them are there anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of them were not good there.
No. They could not utilize what they had. Plus, they had Andrew McCutchen, who was a star there, and he got moved on. They had so many good players, and then none of them ended up working out for anything.
No.
All right, let's go to the wild cards. We're clearly not picking the Pirates, the Rockies, Will. So who is your NL wild cards?
So the Mets, New York Metsies, obviously, and then the Pods. Mets and the Padres.
That would be a fun wild card game.
It would be. It would be fun, but my God, I'd be stressed the whole entire time.
Jake would be lined up for that game.
Yeah, of course he would. Of course.
Yeah. Anthony, your wild card teams.
Going with the Braves and the Padres.
Yep. I will match you right there. And congratulations, guys. We have the exact same 5 teams in the NL playoffs, all 3 of us.
Hey.
All right.
The only difference is they will put the Braves in the East, and we did not.
Yeah, I hope that backfires, by the way. Make me eat that pick.
It just tells you, though, what's wrong with this American National League right now, because there's so many teams in there. They're just not going to be competitive. The whole Central is not there. The East is not there. The East is just good, but they're going to kill each other. The West, Anthony, you only have the Padres, the Dodgers, the Giants are a year away. The Rockies you talked about, the Diamondbacks are just not good.
No, the Diamondbacks just from a team that was, a playoff team a couple of years ago, and then you ship out your best player in Paul Goldschmidt. So they're just there.
They are just here, and I mean, Will, it's just problematic that we basically can sit here on the late March and pick the entire NL playoff field.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much. It's a very the NL East is packed, and then everything else there's a lot of really good teams, and then a lot of really bad teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some award predictions here now. Let's go to the American League MVP. Anthony, who is winning our AL MVP award this year?
I feel like it's the obvious pick, but I feel like I don't want to say it was a fluke last year with Abreu winning it, but with the shortened season and everything, I think it's got to be Mike Trout, right? It's got to be Mike Trout.
Safe pick.
That's right.
Will.
So I really wanted to be hot takey and say someone like Luis Robert, someone's gonna be good, but it's just Trout. It's Trout, and it's by a landslide. As much as I want to say
right
that list, give you an Aaron Judge, a Gleyber Torres, a Rendon, it's Trout. If they're gonna be that competitive, he's gonna be doing some really good things. It's gotta be Mike Trout.
Mike Trout's won multiple MVPs and they don't win. If they get in the playoffs, he is going to win that award running away.
Exactly. Like not even remotely close.
The fun here, National League MVP. Will, who is your NL MVP?
I'm going with Ronald Acuna. I think it's going to stay in Atlanta.
Ooh.
I think he had a rough year last year. His year before that was exceptional. I mean, the dude's unbelievable. For me, it was a toss-up between him and Soto.
Anthony, NL MVP.
I'm going with Tatis. Good old Tatis. He's gonna, like I said, it was a toss up between picking the Padres and then the Dodgers for the NL West. But they're gonna be that wild card team. They could fight for the division, but Tatis is just. I feel like in a sense he's kind of not really too close, but in a sense he's kind of like the NL version of Mike Trout.
He literally could have won the award last year if that close. He was that good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a guy for a team that's never had an MVP before. I think this is gonna be his big coming out party. Frankie Lindor, MVP.
Ooh, all right.
They robbed me in 2006 because Ryan Howard hit 1 billion home runs. But hey, maybe connection, Puerto Rican switch hitter.
I mean, the way he's locked in right now, I think he's just going to be electrified by the city. I think he's going to put up his best year ever. He will win the MVP.
Yeah, he's clubbing the ball in spring training, man.
All right, let's go to the American League Cy Young Award. And last year, Will actually had this right.
I'm going Shane Bieber. I think he had a fantastic year last year. I think he's, I don't think this guy's going to have sustained success for, 5-6 years, but I do think he's going to have a great year.
Good call.
So, this year though, I mean, I'm looking at how it lines up and like the favorites and stuff. There's a lot of it's going to be very close, but I think I'm going to stick in that division, and I'm going to go with Lucas Giolito for the White Sox because again, White Sox are going to be competitive. They're going to be trying to win a division, and in order to do that, a guy like Giolito's got to pitch really well, and he pitched really well last year. And he's a good pitcher, and I think he's just going to completely continue to develop young guy. Hey, keep it in that division. See if Giolito can lead the White Sox.
All right, Anthony, he's on the board. Giolito, where are you going?
I really wanted to say that pick, but I can't. Garrett Cole. I think just what he did last year. I don't want to be the homer, but come on, what he did.
When we do the National League pick, I'm sure there's going to be a very.
Well, I mean, there really isn't anything else to really say in the National League other than
Yeah, Garrett Cole. I'm going
Garrett Cole. I just what he did last year, and then just what he's doing in spring training as well. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, just because he's the only guy they have. They're going to let him get deep in games. He's going to rack up all the strikeouts, give him an ERA around 2.5. He's going to win 20 games. He's going to win the Cy Young.
Yeah, without a doubt. I just hope they don't rely on him too much to where, come playoff time, he's fizzling out. I don't think that'll be the case, but who knows?
All right, let's go to the National League. And last year, Anthony had this one.
I want to make that same pick that Will just did with Jake, but I'm going to go a little bit of different route. I'm going to go with Trevor Bauer.
Good call again, Anthony.
Kind of risked it, but I'm not going that way this year.
You got the biscuit last year, though.
I did.
So who was winning the Cy Young this year?
I'm gonna go with the ground this year. I think Trevor Bauer. As much as I like him, just
boo.
Yeah, we are not Trevor Bauer fans here in this podcast.
Oh, we know.
Will, are you going the homer route or are you going somewhere else in the field?
I'm thinking Corbin Burton. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm going Jake 3 out of 4 years here. I mean, if his ERA does not blow up at the end of last season, those 2 bad starts at the end, he wins the award again. I think he beats Bauer.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely. He would have had it.
Yeah. So 3 for 3, Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher in baseball. And I'm calling my shot on this right now. Bauer is going to underachieve hard with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Just for the mere fact, there's no pitcher that would even live up to that contract in the dollar amount, just to be fair. But yeah, I just not even literally take everything outside of the equation. He didn't sign with the Mets, yada, yada, yada. It's tough for me to even look at anybody based off 11 starts and be like, oh my God, he's worth $50 million a year, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I think he's going to be a guy. He kind of reverts back to that mid-3s ERA, if not, low 3s ERA guy.
Yeah. Plus, Anthony, I mean, he's already fighting with the media out there. He's doing stupid things in springtime. He's pitching with one eye closed, and then he's drilling Mariners, and they're hitting 3 homers off him in spring training games. I mean, that's pressure of that city's not going to do well for him.
I mean, Trevor Bauer is going to be Trevor Bauer, right?
Yep.
Put it simply, yes.
And you know what Trevor Bauer's history is? Trevor Bauer's a pitcher is an ERA about 4.1, and he wins about 13 games. He gets a bunch of strikeouts and gives you occasional brilliant performances. You're getting probably slightly better than that in the NL. I don't think you're going to get the guy who dominated the weak NL Central lineups last year.
Yeah, it's just that dollar amount. For anybody, it's just.
Well, especially coming off that short season last year, like you said, 11 starts.
Yeah, it was 11. Yeah,
you don't want to base it off of that. Here's a literal boatload of cash. Just
it is.
Last thing on the prediction slate: the World Series call. And I've had the matchup right 2 years in a row. Last year, I did actually call the correct winner too. So I'm taking Rays Dodgers as my World Series this year. Rays Dodgers. And I think the Rays pitching will be too much in the playoffs. Dodgers, Dodgers win it all. So this year, I got to try and make it 3 in a row. I don't know why. I have I know the chalk pick. Everybody's going to have the same chalk pick here. I do not feel that's going to happen. I'm going off the board here. I'm going with the Chicago White Sox against the Mets. I'm buying the Lindor hype. I'm going to say Mets pull it off this year.
You went 2 different ways. So when you said you're switching it up with the chalk, I was like, all right, he's either picking not the Yankees or the Dodgers. You didn't pick either.
I went off the board.
That really did throw me off. I'll be completely honest. But God, I wish I could pick the White Sox, man. Okay, here, let me do it this way. Preface it where if the White Sox pick a pitcher up, I'll say White Sox make it in the American League because I thought I was going to be bold and be the only one who did that. Stole my thunder there. But in the NL, I think it's going to be the Dodgers are going to get back.
So who wins of those two?
Dodgers. Unfortunately, the Dodgers will win.
Anthony, you going with the chalk?
I really wanted to say Padres. I was going to say, maybe Padres get it to the World Series, by just getting hot in the playoffs. But with what the Dodgers did again, I can't. It's going to be Dodgers over. I really don't want to say Yankees because I know they're not going. I'm not saying that. Ooh. I don't know. I say White Sox.
Hop on the
yeah. We'll go with the White Sox hype train.
I wonder if I just inject into your minds here, like what the White Sox love.
I was coming in with a lot of it, and then I was like, let's just keep it going because Yoenis Cespedes are going to sign him. He's going to back cleanup, hit him all the way, baby. Yoenis.
Yeah, he's going to go play some golf in Chicago on the off days. He's going to go have some beers down at Wrigleyville, like when they play the Cubs.
No, but in all seriousness, I'm not going to go long here. That lineup, we've already talked about it, is so freaking legit, man. And they still have guys coming up like Madrigal, Vaughn, I think is his last. If that goes well, it could not even be competitive though. If they get another starter, I mean, that team is really like where the Padres were last year, but I think they have substantially better hitting at this point. So, I mean, hey, we'll see.
All right. So White Sox might have just cursed your team this year because we picked them to easily win the division and to get to the World Series.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, none of us had them win the World Series.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, there you have it. There's our baseball predictions. We will keep track of those, see what happens as the season goes on. I think you guys are hopping on here. We'll talk again a couple times throughout the year, but do some social media plugs. Anthony, how can people follow you with social media? What's some of the stuff you're doing?
Yeah, you can keep up on me on Instagram at Sorbellini Photos, SORBELLINI Photos.
All right, and Will, how about you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Will Schneider H1. Yes, follow me. I tweet about sports. Do some few things, read some articles, and so on. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks again, guys, for all the time. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.